After 34 weeks of exciting football, being on the road, enjoying the hustling, the tackles, the throws, the goals that have been scored, it all comes down to this very game. The final game of the 2025-2026 season is here. And Medeama, who have already been crowned champions, are coming up against Heart of Oak. The results here wouldn't have any impact on whatever happens at the top, because Medeama, as we know, have already won the title. But for Heart of Oak, maybe there's something to play for, because they are chasing a top 4 finish. As it stands, the likes of Medeama are all in there and also want to usurp Heart of Oak and get into that top 4 places. So Heart of Oak would want to solidify the 3rd spot and see out the season. It's going to be an interesting one, especially with the kind of lineup both teams have put forward. I thought that Medeama have won the league, so they would go with a weaker lineup, but Ibrahim Tanko says that no, I want to finish on a high. My name is Mutale Yakubu. This is the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and Onuya TV. I've been joined by Coach Ebenezer Sifa. You'll be hearing from him. But as you know, the Ghana Premier League is always big, huge on social media. Just go on Instagram, search for Ghana League _ You'll find us on X. It is Ghana League. On Twitter, on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Ghana Premier League, and you can even watch the games live there. 34 weeks excitement. Coach, it's not been easy, but Medeama in the long run are worthy winners of the title.
Well, it tells you how they started their preseason. It tells you how difficult they've gone through, and I think they've been consistent. And I think that Coach Ibrahim Tanko and his team have done very well by winning the Ghana Premier League.
Was there any doubts at any point that Medeama were going to lose the title? Because for me, when they lost to Brecum Chelsea, I thought it was going to slip from their hands.
I mean, it was a must win for Brecum Chelsea, for Chelsea to open a free gate for the whole of Brecum to come to Brecum Golden City Park, so that they needed that win badly. For Medeama, they knew what was at stake. And for them to even go ahead to score the first goal tells you that, look, they meant business. But unfortunately for them, lack of concentration and communication, they lost the game. And of course, for them going to Basaka, it was a close than going all the way to Brecum. So for them, even the first leg against Basaka, it was a difficult one. They have to come from behind to get the equalizer. So for me, they're going to Basaka. They knew that a win from that game would definitely give them the trophy. And for me, I think that Tanko did the right thing by parading his squad that has been consistent this season. And for me, I think that luck too was on their side, even when Salim missed the penalty shootout. I think that Kingsley Bahir from the bench came to do the job for them.
Now you cover Medeama a lot. What do you think did the magic for them? Is it the experience of Ibrahim Tanko finishing 2nd with Accra Lions, coming finishing 8th, or you think that quality was in abundance in this Medeama team?
I think there's a lot of factors. Yeah, Tanko's factor is also one. He's a professional coach, and he knows what it's about. If you have to really study Tanko from Accra Lions, you talk of quality. The players are young. Apart from Mubarak Yusuf, the rest are very young. And I think that they have a very good management. And overall, Moses Amapaka was determined. So in terms of mobility, in terms of promises, in terms of everything that the players need, motivation wise, it was top notch. And of course the players also need what is at stake for them to win the league at the TNA Sports Stadium. This is the first season and they have to win. So for them, they believe that, look, we have the quality, and they started very well, and I think they have to kill it.
Who has been the standout performer in that Medeama team?
I think Salim Adams.
Is he your player of the season?
Of course. I mean, I'm not for that scoring as many as 10 goals, about 5 or 6 from the dead ball situation. Some of them are from 20 yards, 35 yards, and he's been consistent in Medeama Medford. That is the reason why a lot of Ghanaians are calling for him to be in the Blasters squad in Mexico, US, and Canada. And I think that Salim Adams, before he joined Medeama, we knew that he has dropped. Even he didn't start the season with Medeama, but for him to be a standout in the Ghana Premier League, I think that personally, I think that Salim Adams should be my man of the season.
Of course, Salim Adams is said to be one of the players that will be contending for a place in Carlos Queiroz' side for the World Cup. Big one for the midfielder who has scored about 12 goals so far in the Ghana Premier League, and he has been brilliant for them in all fronts there. But again, back to that subject of Medeama and the quality that they have. There was a point where the likes of Fojo were on the bench, but Tanko managed to get the best out of the likes of Fuzi Taylor.
You see, when you have a team that have got a lot of quality in the team, even one drops, you have the confidence of the ones that they are in there. And I think that Tanko have confidence in all his players. So ever since Fojo dropped, at a point Prince Owusu dropped. So it tells you that if you have Manuel Mante, if you have God knows Jakpasu, if you have Emmanuel Owusu, look at the midfield of Medeama. So if one drops, it dawns on the player to fight back to gain. And looking at even the striking force, they have Kevin Obi, who didn't start the season, Crystal Brahe, and Salam Abdul. I mean, these are guys on any day given the opportunity who will love to prove their point because they have quality in depth. And I think that Tanko managed the squad very well.
Of course, and he did manage to also win the Ghana Premier League, and I will take this opportunity to say congratulations to the entire Medeama fraternity, especially the president of the club, Moses Ama, popularly known as Mospaka. He promised at the start of the season that he was going to win the Ghana Premier League when they were even doing preseason in Ivory Coast, and yes, they have kept to their word as they've won the Ghana Premier League. But the job is not done. They need to finish off here in March 34. They are coming up against Heart of Folk, and it's going to be an interesting one. We take a quick breather. We will be right back. A special Sunday and the final Sunday of the 2025-26 Ghana Premier League here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Hartlepool coming up against Medeama in match day 34, and that ends the season, which has been a long but interesting one, where the Takwa-based club are winning the title. It means that 4 seasons in a row, the Ghana Premier League title has stayed in Western region, and the Western dominance is dominating our game at the moment. My name is Mutala Yakubu. This is TV3 and Onya TV. But let me give you a full complement of the games coming up in match day 34. It is judgment day for some teams. For Medeama, no pressure on them. This is just one of the passing game. Hartlepool will come up against Medeama, as I've said. There is Brecum Chelsea against Bechem United. One of the big games in this week would be at the Baba Sports Stadium, where Swedro All Blacks, who are in danger of being relegated, will be facing Asante Kotoko. It's a must-win game for the Swedro-based side. Young Apostles also will be coming up against Samatex with Vision playing Adriana, and Karela would face Nations FC, who themselves are also in danger of being relegated. They travel all the way to the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium to face Karela. Gold Stars, who finished second, would be coming up against 11 Wonders with Baseke Oli Stars playing Dreams, and Heart of Lions were due to play Hoho United, who have pulled out of the Ghana Premier League. So as it stands, Hoho United 11 Wonders are going down to the Division 1. Which other team will be joining them, we'll be finding out shortly in a few hours time. But this is how the table looks like. Medeama have already won the league. They have 64 points. Gold Stars have 57. Also on second, and Hartlepool, they have an opportunity of solidifying their position on the table. They are third with 51 points. Adriana, Samatex also have 50 points each and lie fourth and fifth respectively. Then we have Dreams FC sitting sixth with 49 points. Same as Asante Kotoko, who can get a maximum points against All Blacks should they win today's game, and that would actually push them somewhere into the top of 4. Karela are 8 with 49 points, with Brecum Chelsea, who are sitting 9th at the moment with 47 points. This is the top half of the table. Now this is where it is getting interesting. The bottom half of the table, 11 Wonders at the moment are relegated. Hoho United are relegated, but Swedro All Blacks, Nations FC, Young Apostles in danger. Coach Eben, judgment day for these teams.
Yeah, for Young Apostles, I believe that their chances of staying in the Ghana Premier League is about 80%, because after Kotoko beating them at the Wenchi Park, they've made that place a fortress. Any team that goes there, that they lose. So playing Samatex that have nothing to lose, I think that Young Apostles is going to beat them and then stay in the Ghana Premier League. But for Swedro Blacks, they need a win at all costs at the Baba Sports Stadium to stay in the Ghana Premier League. Whilst Nations also needs a draw or a win to stay in the Ghana Premier League. So I'm looking at Nations FC, Karela United, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and then Swedro Blacks. These are the 2 difficult games that I'm going to monitor this afternoon.
So in as much as we are concentrating on what is happening here, our eyes and ears will firmly be on the grounds at the Baba Sports Stadium and also at the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium. But these are some records in the Ghana Premier League this season. Top goal scorer at the moment is Augustine Okra. Can he bag a few goals today, as Bechem will be taking on Brecum Chelsea? Then also Richmond Opoku has scored 13 goals for Young Apostles, and Samuel Atakubi of Gold Stars also has 13 goals. Coach Ben, Augustine Okra again, I mean, he needs no introduction in the Ghana Premier League.
Well, I'm just proud of him. He didn't start the season this year, but as an offensive player scoring 15 goals, the 2012-2013 season, he won the Ghana Premier League with Bechem United with 17 goals. And for him to come back to win to lead the goalkeeping pack with 15 goals tells you that Augustine Okra is a magic.
And with the clean sheets as well, the goalkeepers who have ensured that the ball doesn't enter the net. Zachary Musa of Samatex has kept 17 clean sheets at the moment. With Felix Shea of Medeama, he led them to win the title. He's kept 15 clean sheets. And Dubi Techi Kasi of Baseke Holy Stars has also kept 14 clean sheets. Zachary Musa, 17 clean sheets for Samatex. No wonder they are one of the teams that have been able to draw most of their games goalless.
No, I mean, he's done very well. A very young goalkeeper in the person of Zachary Musa. I believe that the technical handlers needs to, I'm talking about the national teams, should have a look at them. I mean, Felix Shea, he doesn't need any commendation or anything. And of course, we talk of the Basaka goalkeeper. He's done very well. After they lost to Hasselhoff and they moved to their new home grounds, they've not lost a game out there until Medeama went there to pip them by a lone goal. I believe that Ghana do not have goalkeeping problem, but it's a matter of choice from the handlers. I've always said this.
A lot of goalkeeping quality in Ghana. Even the recent Black Stars team that played against Mexico had Solomon Agbasi and Benjamin Asari, both from the local league, part of that squad. So Heartland making their way to the Accra Sports Stadium. In recent times, the result has not come forth. A lot of draws for Heartland, and they would want to change that script today as they end the 2025-26 season. Their fans are here to witness them, because Heartland would have to win this game to solidify their position in the top 4. That is Medeama, and how they also made their way all the way from Takwa to the Accra Sports Stadium. Ibrahim Tanko winning his first ever Ghana Premier League title, Coach Eben.
I mean, he's done very well. I mean, we all know Tanko with Accra Lions. I mean, they were third on the league log. I mean, he's one coach who joined Medeama half of the season, and he started this season with them, taking the team to Ivory Coast for a pre-season. And of course, I mean, Tanko winning the Ghana Premier League because of his quality and the kind of game plan and the kind of management and the support from Moses Amapaka. I think that Ibrahim Tanko, I mean, he has to laugh all the way to Takwa for the trophy.
Of course, and he's been smiling since they won the trophy. He was here. I spoke to him a few minutes ago, and he says that despite the fact that they've won the title, he wants to finish on the strong note. For Accra Heartland and their head coach Masoud Didi Dramani, he feels they've had a good season. Coach, is the final game of a long season, an opportunity to solidify your position in the top 4 coming up against the champions. What game are you expecting?
I think first of all, we all have to congratulate Tanko and his technical staff, and then the playing body, and then Medeama Sporting Club as a whole. I think that they won the league after 33 matches, and that is very credible, and it is important to acknowledge their hard work in a very long season in coming up with that one. I think that this is one of our important games, because we need to end the league in a very respectable position, and we need to keep our identity and our sense of purpose that gives us the right direction going into the future. So it's very, very an important event today.
Now, despite the fact that your opponents have already won the league, they've named a very, very strong lineup. Does it give you the sense that they want to finish the season on a high?
I think that every club will name the best in every game, and irrespective of what the squad looks like, it is still the best game, because you register every player to be part of your squad list, and then you register every player to have the opportunity to be in your lineup for a weekend. And so irrespective of what game you are playing, you are expected to parade the strongest side.
Coach, would you say you've had a good season with Heartland?
I think that there have been a lot of mixture. It's a mixture of good aspects. First of all, I will look at the human part of it. The human part of every institution is so credible. Coaches, players, they stay in the environment because of outcomes. When you win trophies, it keeps you longer in those aspects. In our situation, I would say that I think that the boys did so well, judging from where we had come from in terms of, even the relegated clubs had the opportunity of beefing up their squad. Every club had the opportunity of beefing up their squad. We didn't have the opportunity of beefing up a squad. And these boys have worked tirelessly. They have done so much in terms of building a clear culture, in terms of sticking up to our purpose and direction of play, and in terms of trying their very best in every game. And sometimes we get the outcome that is expected. Sometimes our expectations are not met, which is normal in association football. But it still gives us the right direction going into the future.
Thanks very much, Coach, and wish you the very best.
Pleasure.
Coach, final game of the season. First of all, congratulations for winning your first ever Ghana Premier League with Medeama. How difficult has this season been?
Very, very difficult. I mean, you have a very good 18 teams with a very good coaching behind them, and definitely and to win this season league is one of the achievements that I think all the team, not only me, the president, the management, the board, and the players, we all fought very well. So I think it's a deserved win for us.
Of course. Now, there are people who are raising questions about the competitiveness of the league. It had to take match day 33 to decide who would win the league. Would you say it has been competitive as well?
Very, very competitive. I mean, when we started, I think for us, we only, the worst position was the third position. We always swim between first and second. And like I said, it was really very, very difficult season because of the teams and the coaches that we have. Everyone is thinking, everyone is getting things right. But I think in all, like I said, we deserve to win the league based on our performance the whole season.
Now, this is a mere formality. Even if you win this game, I mean, it wouldn't add any or change anything. But I realize you've named a very strong starting lineup. What really informed that?
No, I think it's a league that we're playing, and we still have one game to play. And I think this game can also decide something for other clubs. So I don't think we should take it lightly. And we want to finish the league in a very good way. So definitely, we are going to do everything possible to have this win here.
Thanks very much, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Ex-Ghanaian international Ibrahim Tanko, now head coach of Medeama, winning his first Premier League title with the Takwa-based club. Players, officials already in the tunnel and want to come out and do battle. So I leave you in the hands of our commentators, Nana Dakwajesi and Jose Okokwe. Enjoy the first 45 minutes.
It's a curtain closing Sunday special at the Accra Sports Stadium as the 2025-26 Ghana Premier League comes to an end this afternoon. It's Hearts of Oak up against champions Medeama, who come into this game knowing that they're already champions of the Ghanaian top flight, having beaten Hearts of Lions by 5 goals to 2 last weekend in Takwa, and then BBN Gold Stars, their closest rivals at the time, losing 3-1 to Dreams in Tuba. That makes Medeama champions for the very second time in their history. They're up against the crowds of this Sunday in the capital with the Phobians, knowing that a win for them will keep the aspirations of a third place finish alive. A pleasant welcome to the Accra Sports Stadium. It's match day 34 of the Ghana Premier League. Hearts of Oak versus Medeama Sporting Club. My name is Nana Dakwajesi, together with Josiah Okokwe, were your commentators for this final fixture in the GPL.
Cheers, Nana. It's certainly going to be a thrilling finale to that long season. And you ask what's at stake. I just think it's there, for the taking the pride of these two teams. Certainly there. Medeama Sporting Club, they've done a massive job, very, very impressive, tremendous job they've done from match day 1 all the way to match day 34. They also gave competition to Medeama Sporting Club, but then they just couldn't stand, the quality and then also the consistency of the mauve and yellow. But then there's so much pride at stake today here in this game, and for Hearts of Oak, it's all to play for them, because the last 2 games they played here ended in goalless stalemate. So today they would need to close or draw the curtains on this thrilling season with a win. Their fans are here, not in their numbers though, but then you still want to please the fans who are currently here at the Accra Sports Stadium.
The mauve and yellow against the rainbow lads here in Accra as a final stretch in a long and winding season that began in September. And having these guys fought gallantly to achieve this feat, Medeama. They won the Premier League last weekend with a game to spare. They've already arranged for a special coronation game next Wednesday against Holy Stars. This game is just a mere formality. Even they lose, they are champions. Goalkeeper Shoaib starts for the very 3rd time in the season in the absence of both Solomon Agbasi and Benjamin Asari on national duty with the Black Stars. Emmanuel Amankwa, Osei Sebe, Muhammad Ali and Mensah complete a back four with Opar Frani returning to play alongside Kujo and Hussein. The three-man midfield with Didi Dramani sticking to Amponsa, Hamza Isa and Wayo. The three-man attack for Hearts of Oak.
Yeah, on paper look like your 4-3-3, but then you expect that 4-4-2 diamond with no natural wingers. So you expect Isa and then also Wayo to make lots of runs into the channels, but then lots of feeding will come from Hussein, who perhaps by some extent is the best passer, of the ball in that midfield position of Accra Hearts of Oak.
The Phobians are leaving nothing to chance. This is the final game of the season. A better way to say goodbye to your fans will be to win the game and also consolidate your place in the top 4 teams of the competition. Medeama are without the services of mercurial midfielder Salim Adams, who is away with the Black Stars. He featured in that game against Mexico that the Black Stars lost 2-0. Done yesterday. Maxwell Owusu is our centre man, is assisted by Mike Seth Ableto and Michael Alumi. Gideon Nikofi is the 4th referee for this afternoon's game. Medeama paraded a very, very strong lineup, regardless of the fact that they've already won the Premier League. Felix Shea is in pole. Yao says at right back, at left back is Suleiman of Atau, Jacob Amumense and Mubarak Yusuf combined in central defense. There's Fuzi Taylor, God knows Jack Pasu and Manuel Mante in a 3-man midfield. Jake Fojo scored a brace in their last game against Hearts of Lions. He's alongside Kevin Nkrumah with Kelvin Obin expected to be the arrowhead for Medeama's 3-man attack this afternoon. Yeah,
that's an attacking lineup by Ibrahim Tanko. You expect lots of runs from Fojo and then also Nkrumah on either side, and also you expect Obin to also play off the shoulders of the defense of Accra Hearts. It looks like a strong lineup. The only person missing now has to be Salim Adams, but then equally this is a very, very strong lineup from Medeama Sporting Club, and I wouldn't be surprised if they would love to take the game to Accra Hearts right from the blast of the whistle.
Medeama have got nothing to lose. They want to enjoy themselves, express themselves. That has been a trademark of their current coach, Ibrahim Tanko, who carved the niche for himself during his days at Accra Lions with free-flowing football, concentrating on positive build-up from the back with quick transitional plays. Every team is coached has been a delight to watch, and this Medeama team has not been different.
No, it's not, and that's the culture, that's the DNA of this club. They love to entertain, they love to score goals. They never cower, and try to defend in numbers. That's not what they do, and it's been a quality. It's just been the strength of this team. They have the quality and they believe themselves. That self-belief has been the difference between Medeama and the other 17 teams in the Premier League.
All is set for kickoff here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Final day of the Ghana Premier League. Champions Medeama against Hearts of Oak. Maxwell Owusu signals the two teams into action here in the capital. Is Mubarak Yusuf, the Medeama captain, in control now. Fuzi Taylor. They've remained a very compact side from the onset of the Premier League. They've never fallen off the top 3 since the commencement of the campaign. Opon Frani looks for Maoli Wayo, tries to set up Hamza Isa. Good interception by Manuel Mante. Mubarak Yusuf's pass gets to Hussein. Hussein is trying to switch to Amponsa, who does well to control. Jakpasu wins it for Kelvin Nkrumah on his bike. He's got great pace. He sees Fojo on the right side. He locates Fojo. Here comes Derek Fojo. He goes for goal. Blocked by Osei Sibe. And Ali will pick it up for the Phobians.
And that's what they're all about. Nkrumah, Fojo on either flank. They would love to entertain positions, during this game. That's what they love to do, just to confuse the opposition. And it's just a pace for them. That's a strength. And Hearts of Oak would really need to be on alert, if they would really want to keep all the threat from these two wide players.
Here is Hussein with some lovely movement to go past Fuzi. Mensah's ball goes straight into the face of Yawase. That must be hurtful. Yawase just goes down in the process.
It should be fine. It was just unexpected. Just look at that. Yeah. Was trying to send in that in swinging pull out. Just wouldn't go that far. Yawase, unfortunately, right in the way. You talk about this chap, and he's really improved. You know, filling in those big boots of Kamaldeen Mamudu, and you'd say it was a bit, shaky for him once he started. But I think he's really picked up. And you just can't take away his contribution as far as Medeama's title win is concerned.
Mensah with the delivery, hanging on, and it goes straight onto the roof of the goal post. That's a goal kick.
Yeah, not expecting him to score from that position. Yeah, you could see the run of Hamza Issa. Yeah, there's Wayo also in there, just within the goalkeeper's area. No, not the most impressive delivery, but if that had been accurate a bit, they would have troubled Felix Che.
Che has won 2 Premier League titles this season and the 2 previous seasons when Medeama were crowned champions. It's been decent for them this season as well, Felix Che. Shoaib, he's also filling in some big shoes, and in the absence of Agbasi and then Asare, he is expected to make the most of the opportunity handed in Shoaib. Fuzi commits the foul, free kick for Hatzabok.
Yeah, he's dropping deeper already, Hamza Issa. You could see the body check there. Fuzi thinks it was a clean challenge. Yeah, you could see his reaction there, but the referee just doesn't think so.
Mensah, the centre-back Ali, has made a move into Medeama's area. That's what to pick out Hussein. Hussein with a cutback and Hamza with a brilliant finish. This is well worked. It's an absolute team goal by the Phobians. Under 5 minutes, Hatzabok have jumped into the lead with some beautiful play that resulted in a cool finish by Hamza Issa. That's a brilliant goal, and you credit Ali Mohammed for that desire to step forward and join the attack. Good play by the Phobians, and they deserve to be in the lead.
Yeah, they rightly deserve to be in the lead. It was a swift move, and that extra man from centre back just adding so much spice up front. Just look at that run. You expect a fullback to be making that run. He does so well, and that composure there to pick up his teammate into space, just lays it into that dangerous area, and the awareness of Hamza Issa to just latch onto that. And there's no chance for Felix Che. There's no chance at all. It was just swift move, but you just credit Muhammad Ali. The sense of awareness, the sense of mind to just bump forward, adding that extra man.
That's 5 goals for Hamza Issa this season. 2 behind the club's top scorer Mauli Wayo, who is on 7. 5 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium. Hatzabok 1, Medeama 0. Mensah can't pick out for Joe. Here is Wayo to Mensah. Afrani to Ali. Hussein bits into it by Fuzi now. Here is Mano Mante. Kelvin Obin makes the move, but he finds Kelvin Nkrumah on the left hand side. He's trying to use Suleiman as the decoy now. Fuzi space to shoot. It's for Fojo now. Flag stays down, and Fojo, heavy touch on Fojo's part, but massive credit to Ali for that interception. Good defending by the Hatzabok centre back.
Yeah, that's what you get on both ends. Attacking wise, he just produced a moment of magic, and just seconds later, he's just defending gallantly. Just read the situation so well. Just had to intercept, but again, it was just a heavy touch from Fojo. A good touch would have resulted maybe in a chance created, but just look at that. Ali just reading the situation, going down early just to save the day.
Fatal Suleimana to take the Medeama corner. The Mob and Yellow are trailing the Rainbow Larks by 1-0. Goal scored by Hamza Now Suleimana delivers. Shoaib gets something on it. Hazabok have a man down. Referee is staring at the situation but allows the ball to roll outside. It must be Maoli Wayo. There was a foot up against him, but he should be fine, Wayo.
He is up on his feet again. That was an initial ball. They had could see a couple of yellow shirts trying to attack that one fiercely. Hazabok doing well. Just to clear their lines. Maoli Wayo a bit late on him, but he should just be fine. He is fine at this point.
Chase trying to pick out Kelvin Obin. Again, clever play by Ali, but the flag was already up for offside against Obin. Hussein. Ali. Good ball into space for Hamza Issa, but Jacob Amu Mensah is first to arrive and cleverly shows the ball for a Medeama goal kick.
Yeah, but it's all been Ali so far for Accra Hearts. He's just doing a bit of everything, a bit of defending, a bit of attacking it. That was a sweet ball, just a long ball, diagonally hit into the channel. And for Hearts, I think those two players, Wayo and then also Issa, not on the same page as to who gets on the end of that one. It was just a lovely ball, just whipped into that area for the attackers.
Mensah, Felix Che, Mubarak Youssef. Comfortable building up from the back. Medeama not in a hurry to push things forward. Mubarak will now put one through for Obin, who hits the ball back to Amankwa. Now Opon Frane, a season where he's predominantly played in a midfield position, but he's distinguished himself quite well in that position. Opon Frane. Poor ball now, Hamza pounces on it. Chance for Hamza second, but the effort is very poor from Hamza Issa. He took it on his weaker left foot. Wayo thought it was a better option. Hamza went for glory and he missed the chance to score a second.
Seemingly, it was just a dangerous area to lose that ball, and you would expect Hartevok to just punish Medeama for that. It was a sloppy play from the back, and it was just Hamza Issa who pounces on that. Yeah, trying to check onto his left foot. You have Suleimana, you have Mubarak on a left, just trying to monitor the run of Maoli Wayo, but that decision from Hamza Issa just not the best. And again, sloppy play again, giving that way possession to Accra Hartevok cheaply.
Sebe to Amponsan, but Suleimana to take possession for Medeama, stepping forward with confidence. Here is Fatal Suleimana all alone, tries to tee up Fojo shoots. It takes a deflection of Ali and Shoaib collects it coolly. Again, it had to be Ali stepping forward for the Phobians at the back.
He's been by far their best player so far in this game. He's just been there every single time you've needed him. Every single time, they've been in trouble. He's just helped them out.
Here is Maoli Wayo for Hartsabok. It's 10 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium. Match day 34 of the Ghana Premier League. Hearts 1, Medeama 0. Here is Rafael Amponsan. Switches to Emmanuel Amankwa. Gordon Kujo swings in across. Mano Mante is first to get to it, but he's pushed down by Hamza Issa. Medeama have a free kick now in their own area.
Yeah, and the most furious Hartevok player at this point has to be Rafael Amponsa. He was expecting that short pass to himself, not when you have all the Medeama defense just right on the left, reading the situation. It was just not a good ball into that area, and you just expect always Hamza Issa to foul Mano Mante, because there was no way he was going to win that ball. Here
is Nkrumah. quick feet in Nkrumah. It's a lovely ball to pick out. Derek Forjo on the right side. Here comes Forjo on the leg over. Tries to go past Ali, but here is Osei. Forjo was lurking and waiting for an acrobatic hit. Jack Pasu initially went in with that attempt. Ali Mensah comes under pressure and he gives the ball away. Jack Pasu finds Fuzi. Turns to Forjo. He's got Mensah to contend with. Can't go past Mensah, but he gets the corner for his efforts for Joe.
He's just trying to, just win those 1v1 situations. He's had a couple. He's not really made any good use of it. We've seen Muhammad Ali also intervene a couple of times, but that's just not Forjo, at his best. Playing down the right hand side. He's had a couple of balls, and you're expecting that he could beat his marker with so much ease, which he hasn't.
Medeama have a corner. Sulemana swings one in, but Shoaib collects it coolly for the Phobians.
Yeah, that was that corner kick again, and Medeama do not care at this point. They're just throwing men forward.
On the other end, here comes Hamza for Hartsabok. Raphael Amponsan. Upon Frane. Here is Kujo. Amankwa to Kujo. Now Amponsan. Ali in the middle. Aiming at Ransford Mensah. Lovely control, but the flag is up for offside.
It was just the first offside of the game. You could see the run over there, but I think he made that run from an onside position. He just timed his run perfectly. Just a bit.
Goes down from the challenge of Amankwa. Reactions from the Hardwork fans in disapproval with the decision of the referee.
That was it again. He had just had no business winning that ball, but he was clear obstruction there, stepping, into the path of Nkrumah.
Ali wins the aerial ball against Forjo. Wayo Hussein. I'll say that's what to track back to his goalkeeper Che. Here is Jacob Abu Mensah. Knows this venue too well. Played 2 seasons for Accra Lions in the Premier League at this venue. Here comes Jacob Mensah. He's got options up front in Nkrumah, in Forjo, and here comes Jack Pasu. Now Fuzi. Mano Mante tries to pick out Kelvin Opon. He's up against Osei Sibe. Osei with a cross. Kelvin Nkrumah's header is straight to Shoaib.
And they're making some good incursions now. Then there's a hold-up play from Forjo, just lays down to the part of Osei. You could see that header. It was a clean header, just so clean, but they're not threatening in that. No power, no direction whatsoever. Just headed straight into the hands of Shoaib. That's just so comfortable for him. And You feel if Medeama should stand any chance of hurting Hartlepool, it should come from that right hand side where there's Fojo and then also that support from the fullback, Yawase.
Here is Jack Pasu playing in a more advanced role this afternoon in the absence of Salim. Now here is Kelvin Nkrumah. He wants to take on Gordon Kujo. He's got Sulemana for an option. Sule swings across. It's blocked by Amankwa. Hamza goes down from the challenge of Fuzi. It's a free kick for Hartlepool.
You sometimes need this. You just need to calm the game, and in the last 5 minutes, you feel Medeama, has been the better side in this game. They've passed the ball so well. They've created one or two openings, and for Hartlepool, that's just what they need. If you're one up, you just try to manage the game, and it's all part of it. Let's cool the tempo, of the play.
David Afrani, Amankwa, Kujo. Oseisabe straight to find Mensah. He keeps it in but can't keep possession of it. Yawase has got Felix Che calling. Felix Che to Amu Mensah. Lovely touch by Jack Pasu, and Fuzi goes down. That's reckless from Ransford Mensah. Free kick for Medeama.
A bit of an elbow there. Was it Opuafrani? Yeah, it was Opuafrani. Just outstretched, elbow. Just catching Fuzi around the abdomen.
Mano Mante for Medeama. They are trailing Hartlepool by a goal scored by Hamza Isa in the 3rd minute. Here comes Mubarak Yusuf. Here is Fuzi. Tries to pick out Fojo. Ali arrives and heads the ball away. Yes, there was a push on him by Fojo. He invited the push. He's got him what he wanted.
And you're not beating him to that. You're just not beating Ali to that. Reading up situations. That ball just went past, the Hartlepool back line, and he just had to move quicker, accelerated faster. Than the Medeama attacker, but clearly there was a push there on him.
Ali is playing his 24th Premier League game for the Phobians, and interestingly, as a centre-back, he's caught up just 2 yellow cards across these 23 previous games he's played in.
Yeah, that underlines the fact that he's a decent defender. He had a good pass off the ball as well. Read situations, and very, very clever and intelligent, in that position. And I think you need to credit his hard work. With most of the clean sheet Hartlepool has kept this season. I think he's been, at the back of that, really organising everything in defence and formed a very, very solid partnership, with Kelvin Oseisabe.
Here is Yawase, almost giving away possession. Amu Mensah will fall on Felix Che. Gets back to his centre-back. We've done 20 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium on the final day of the Ghanaian Top Flight. It's Hartlepool 1 and Medeama, who have already won the Premier League, 0. Hamza with a chance. Tries to set up Amponsa. The idea was good, but they didn't seem to be on the same page.
Yeah, not at all. He read that move a bit late, half a second late, and at that point you feel the ball had already crossed over to Felix Che, who just to collect that. It was a good move, and they are finding spaces now. Medeama just throwing more men forward in search of that equalizer, and it's left them a bit vulnerable at the back.
Mubarak. Foul on Kelvin Nkrumah by Mensah. Eric Forjo to Jacob Mensah. Mensah and Mubarak Yusuf currently in possession have equally formed a very solid central defensive partnership, making it difficult for Rick Saki to become a regular in that Medeama backline. Fuzi's touch goes down, referee's right there, sees nothing wrong with the tackles. Now Emmanuel Amankwa for Hadzabok, he puts 1-2 for Hamza Issa. Felix Che is approaching, and that's some confident goalkeeping from Felix Che.
Yeah, he's a goalkeeper full of confidence, Felix Che, and it takes quite a lot more to beat him. It was just a lovely ball, down the line from Emmanuel Amankwa, who just bumped forward for the first time in this game.
Here is Mano Mante, Fatal Sulemana. He shoots with his weaker right foot, and it's an all-for-one from him. Goal kick in the end.
Yeah, but you give him credit for getting to that advanced position. They're a bit more inverted there. That's where you expect to see the number 10 already just bumping forward like he loves to do. He'll get star approval from the coach as well. Has a license to bump forward each and every time, and this time the finishing letting him down.
That's dangerous from Felix Che to put his captain into trouble, but referee steps in with a free kick decision for Mubarak Yusuf.
As Medeama playing themselves into trouble, yeah. There's always a price to pay for being overly confident, and at that point they nearly paid it. The determination from Wayo, just to win that ball at that point. And Hussein, one of the players, just pressing so hard. You can see the pressure from the both of them. And just look at that ball. Just a hospital pass from Che, not the best of passes. And he took that trip from Maoli Wayo to just end up the free kick. At least to avert the danger for now, but just not the best of passes from Felix Che.
Here is Fuzi Taylor. Now Jack Pasu. Mubarak to Mensah. Fuzi to Osei. Whistles for the first cooling break of the afternoon. 25 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium. Hatzabok 1, Medeama 0. Time for a bit of refreshment and then pep talk from the two gaffers. Ibrahim Tanko would want to end the season on a high, although they're already champions. Hatzabok, they disappointed their fans this season with consistent drawn games. They've drawn as many as 15 times this season at Zabok, and they want to script something different to wrap up the league this afternoon here in the capital.
And they are 28 points amassed at home, including this game, or the win at this point. Is the fewest or the third fewest. You take away 11 Wonders and Hall United, who are no more playing in the league, and there comes Hearts of Oak, and if we had to judge them just by the home form this season, then Hartlepool could be relegated at the end of this game, regardless how many they score, and that's how bad they've been at home. And you just don't begrudge the fans when they get so overly emotional and very, very frustrated at the end of the games. Proud to this game. The last 2 games they played here against Carolina and Indiana ended in goalless stalemate, and that's just not the mark of a team that's aiming to win the league title. I think that's what really let them down. They were by far the best travellers, but at home they've really, really been awful.
Mante picks out Kelvin Obin. Lays one onto the part of Derek Fojo. He's got Amankwa to contend with. Fojo swings in across, and Nkrumah is lurking. Mensah heads it down. Hussein controls. But he's got 3 yellow shirts around him, so he's been beaten to it. He does want to retrieve possession, Hussein. Jacob Mensah. Fatau loses possession. Has got a lot of space in front of him. Mauliwayo wants to stay onside. Hamza holds on to possession. He puts one through for Wayo, who timed his run to remain onside. Here is Wayo with a cutback. Mensah's drive, and it's gone wide. Goal kick.
Yeah, that goal wasn't scored, but for the fans, it's just the entertaining part of it. Creating chances, just carving open that defense of your opponent, make it so entertaining for them. And it was a good job by Wayo. Initially started from Hamza, but a cutback and that central area, no one just there to just attack that ball, and Ransford Mensah hitting it from behind the box. What a bad attacking sequence from the Phobians.
Fuzi finds Yao-Se. Yao-Se will step forward and go to Fuzi in the middle. Fuzi has seen the run of Fojo, and it's a lovely ball to Fojo, but the flag was always up for offside against Derek Fojo. He failed to time his run.
He's so swift, especially when you find Emmanuel Amankwa not there to deal with that. You talk about one of the fastest wingers in the league, Fojo, right there on the top of the list.
He grabbed the brace last weekend when they beat Hearts of Lions by 5-2 to beat Gold Stars to the trophy. Mante. Mubarak Yusuf handed the captain's armband this season by Ibrahim Tanko, and it's proved very positive for them. Now here is Mauliwayo. He wants to shoot, and this is very disappointing from Mauliwayo. He's the club's top scorer this season with 7 goals, but if you look at the number of glorious chances he's missed this season, he's really let the team down in occasions when you felt he should be scoring. Wayo.
Yeah, that's a similar situation now. He just saw that, making space for himself, and it's not just, peculiar to Mauliwayo, but the entire Hartlepool team. It's a team that, do not score lots of goals, but also so wasteful at the offensive end.
It's half an hour now at the Accra Sports Stadium. Hartlepool 1, Medeama Sporting Club 0. Kujo steps forward. Good ball to find Amankwa. Here is Emmanuel Amankwa. Hamza wants it, but Amankwa shakes off the challenge from Amu Mensah. Referee Maxolo Uso whistles against Hartlepool. Medeama are truly sure it's a good decision. They even appealed for an initial offside even before this foul on Amu Mensah by Amankwa.
Yeah, but it's Didi asking all the questions. He just didn't think that was a foul. but then Emmanuel Amakwa would need some, attention. But just look at that. It was a run made from an onside position. You have Hamza Issa just asking for that ball. And again, I just don't see where the foul is. Because it was his ball to lose. He does well, regained possession, but I think it was just that collision between the two players. And maybe the adrenaline rush didn't allow him to feel it at the instant or at that point, but now he can feel it, and I think they would have to attend to him. But Hearts of Oak really playing exciting football. Now, if they had played this way, you asking the last 16 times they played at home, perhaps they would have given Medeama a run for their money.
And that's the unpleasant statistics that this man would not be happy about. A club who were expected to make their home a fortress have not done so this season. Hearts of Oak. 5 wins, 10 draws and 1 defeat in 16 home games for Hearts of Oak this season, Josiah.
Not good enough. And the only side that has won the fewer home games has to be already relegated 11 wonders. And you just look at the statistics, and if Hearts of Oak should lose this league title by less than 10 points, you're saying that they shot themselves in the foot. Maybe there were games they should have won at home.
Jacques finds Sulemana. Now Jacob Mensah. Got Mano Mante to Mubarak Yusuf. Picks out Yaosei. Fuzi loses the ball to Afrani. Wayo puts one for Afrani. Ball intercepted by Mante. Yaosei can't go past Mensah. One of the most consistent players for Hearts of Oak this season was Mensah, but that's some lovely play from Hussein. Ball intercepted by Yusuf. Say Dasso to pick out Kelvin on Kroma. Last touch coming off Kujo. Hearts are furious with the decision, but Medeama won't mind. Kelvin Obin hands possession to Hearts of Oak. Hussein handles the ball in the process. Foul for Medeama. This is where they'll be missing Salim Adams. This is the Salim territory. Unfortunately, he's unavailable for this game.
Yeah, and Medeama winning the league. Let's credit that chap with some of the goals he scored from a long distance.
And Tanko knows Salim would have been a proper candidate for these set pieces if he was around.
Yeah, I always say, these things are unscripted. You just don't tell yourself, I'm going into a league season where I'll have a midfielder score 6-7 goals from free kick situations. It's just a bonus, and sometimes if you're fortunate enough, it wins you points, like it did when they traveled to Vision and he scored twice, from free kick situations, and they won 3 points, and that propelled them to the league win. And I think he's really been massive for them. Hearts of Oak had him, they just couldn't tap into that, talent he had, but now Medeama just making it look so easy for them.
The big question is, can Medeama keep hold of him as they venture into African club football next season? Salim's hot kick on the Ghanaian Premier League stage. Mensah, good ball to Hamza. Just it away. Now Mante for Medeama. Kelvin Obin. He sees the run of Fojo on the right side. Here is Fojo up against Ali. Fojo on his left foot. Shoaib call to action. Good save by the Hearts of Oak. Third choice goalkeeper who is manning the post this afternoon in the absence of the 2 regular goalkeepers, Asari and Agbasi.
And he's really enjoyed his time this afternoon, Shoaib. Doing everything right. Just ensuring that he could keep a clean sheet in this game in the absence of the top 2 goalkeepers in the local scene. But it's all for Joe now. Ali just guarding, that space, allowing him to check onto that left foot. He does eventually. That shot just straight up Schweib.
10 minutes before the break, Medeama trailing Hazebog 1-0 on the final day of the Premier League. Fuzi Taylor to take the corner for Medeama. And Fuzi swings one to the far post. Nearly took Hazebog by surprise. It just went onto the roof of the net. And it's a goal kick.
Yeah, that was a very, very hard hit. That was a good hit. I'm thinking that wasn't meant for any teammate at all. Schweib not taking chances and ensuring that would just sail over the byline to make sure that he's safe, the team is safe.
Ali's ball in. Jacob Mensah's header down. Here's Yaosei. That's clumsy on Hussein. He'll be lucky not to get a yellow card from Maxwell Owusu. It's certainly a bookable offense. It was nasty from Yaosei.
And he knows it. He knows it. They wouldn't protest so much. He knows that was so clumsy, just reckless from the Medeama Sporting Club right back. Yeah, it was his ball for a minute. Just showed too much of it. Just clatters into Hussein.
His very first foul committed in this game, so Maxwell Owusu deciding to be sympathetic and not flash his rear yellow card to Yaosei. Also initially reached his back pocket, creating the impression he was about to flash Owusu the yellow. Here is Hamza with a good control. He sees Wayo in the middle. Now he finds Mensah. Mensah's cross deflects off Osei and straight to Che. Here's Kelvin Nkrumah up against Emmanuel Amankwa. Cuts through the middle. Shows too much of the ball. Now Hussein will take over. Guess he's trying to show them he could do it better. Controls the ball to touch for a throw into Medeama. Nothing productive from that move by Hussein.
Yeah, but he should have known, he would definitely be overpowered at some point. You look at the height and the strength of Manuel Mante, and there's no way Hussein is going past himself and, Jack Basu, but just hunting him down.
Here is Kelvin Nkrumah, Fuzi Taylor, Fatau Sulemana, back to Fuzi. Last season, Hazebog beat Medeama by 1-0 at this venue, with Rafael Ponsan scoring that goal for the Phobians. In the reverse fixture, Hazebog again beat Medeama 2-0 in Takwa. But in the first round of this season's campaign, Salim Adams scored against the Phobians in Takwa. And now the Phobians have a 1-0 lead with 5 more minutes to half-time.
In the reverse fixture, you'd say they played so well, Hazebog. They were so resolute in defense. But I think it was just sheer determination from Medeama Sporting Club, knowing that we just had to beat them on home soil. We just had to do everything to beat them. And you see that Salim Adams goal, and you could see that they had to work so hard. That goal came, in the 70th minute, and it took so much hard work, so much toil from Medeama to get it.
Fuzi's delivery. Now, Nkrumah swings one in, and Shoaib rising to the occasion for the Phobians.
He's really felt comfortable this afternoon. No, he's not been jittery. He's not shown any signs of rustiness in between the sticks. Oh, Benjamin Asari, no Akbasi, no problem. I'm just going to get a job done, and he's really done perfectly well.
The calmness and the confidence with which Felix Che controls the ball from the back is impressive, Josiah.
He's one of the top goalkeepers, and he's just not fazed by how well you press, how high you press, how hard you try to go at him. He'll just do it, and you can see the ball possession as well. Medeama having a larger share of it, just enjoying the day, keeping the ball by Tartavuk, while being efficient in the final third.
Efficiency matters most at this point. Here is Mante, very efficient midfielder who is fouled by Amankwa. Referee whistles as a Medeama free kick.
Yeah.
Not happy with the shot target.
Not at all. He stands for a minute, for some few seconds, asking, what are you doing? And just look at that. Right after that, shot target, then he feels like no. Look, he just looks at the referee, feels like, just look at that. Yeah, I think that's the reason why he had to complain, and maybe that will be changed when they head back to the dressing room for the halftime break.
Yeah, I'll say Kelvin Obin. It's been impressive since stepping up for Medeama in the second transfer window. Here he comes, Kelvin Obin. Tries to set up Kelvin Nkrumah. Flag is up. Offside against Nkrumah.
Yeah, the second time we've seen a Medeama attacker or winger being flagged offside. Yeah, very tight call there.
Here is Fatal Sulemana. As we draw closer to the end of the first half, it's Hazabok who lead Medeama, the champions, by a lone goal scored by striker Hamza Issa to make it 5 this season. Here comes Kelvin Nkrumah for Medeama. Can't go past Gordon Kujo.
You talk about one of the most consistent players for Hartlepool this season, Kujo. He's also played multiple positions under Masoud Didi Dramani this season as a fullback, centre back, central midfielder, defensive midfielder, and each and every time he just steps up and delivers as well. More like that unsung hero whenever he plays.
Wonders shall never end. Nations are up by 1-0 in Tamale against Karela. And Vision lead Adriana 1-0 in Domai in Tema. That's the final home game for Vision FC.
And guess what? All Blacks are down.
All Blacks are down by 1 against Asante Kotoko in Kumasi. If it stays this way, it means All Blacks will go down as the third relegated side from this season's Premier League, following 11 Wonders and Ahoy United. Interesting times ahead. Flag goes up against Mensa for offside.
And each every time it's Didi who gets furious, and as a run again that's not perfectly timed. Yeah, this time just a fraction of side. He had so much space. He asked for the ball to please right there for him.
It's Brecum Chelsea 2, Bechem 1. Good skill by Kelvin Nkrumah to go past Kujo. He turns around again, tries to set up Mante. Chance for Medeama. Mante is twisting, turning, trying to find the space. He looks for Yao Said, who wants to send in a cross, but it's blocked by Hussein for a throw into the Morven Yellow.
There was a quick counter-attacking move, no delays, and it's something they've done so well over the course of the season, Medeama.
Yao says cross, head away by Cujo. It's 45 minutes already here at the Accra Sports Stadium. We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time now. Ali's throw, flicked on by Mensah. Yawase returns it only as far as Ali. Now Hamza, the goal scorer. Proving a mouthful for Jacob Mensah, but he does well to retrieve possession. Such a very perfect combination between himself and Mubarak Yusuf. Fuzi. Nkrumah wants to use his space to advantage, but not against Cujo. Good play from the Azabok right back. But Cujo has gone down after that challenge. He's yet to get up. As we're entering the second minute of additional time to wrap it up for the first half.
He's holding on to his shin. He's a bit of his ankle there. I don't know if he just twisted it, in the process, but he has his boots also off. You see the sort of excruciating pain where he finds himself, but Didi not so happy. He just thinks that his side could have been 2 or 3 up this game. They've created some premium chances so far in this game. I just think indecisiveness in the final 10 really letting them down.
League winner, but not a happy man on the bench at this moment because his side is trailing Hearts by 1-0. Not the way you want to end the Premier League. After winning the title, you want to end on a high on the final day.
Yeah, but trust me, right after the whistle goes, you'll be okay.
So confirmation of results across the various centres. All Blacks down by 1-0 against Kotoko and Kumasi. Chelsea leading Bichero United 2-1 at the Golden City Park. And Young Apostles, this is the game they need maximum points to survive. They're up by 1-0 against Samatex. And Gold Stars, the dethroned champions, are 1-0 up, 2-0 up against Wonders. Here at the Accra Stadium, it's Hearts 1, Medeama 0. In Tema, it's Vision 1, Aduana 0. Then that game in Tamale, crucial decider. Nations are making the most of it. The league carried out 1-0 at the Liuma Stadium in Tamale. Big deal for Nations if they win this game.
Yeah, it is, but not good. Not a pleasant news for Swejo Blacks fans. Just not good.
Sulemana can't get to Nkrumah. Nkrumah takes the ball from Amankwa, but has Daswell to tidy up. That's the whistle to end the first half here at the Accra Sports Stadium on the final day of the Ghana Premier League. Hamza Issa's goal separating the two sides, heading into the break. Well-worked goal with Mohamed Ali stepping up from the defensive area to put a perfect pass for Hussein, who found Hamza Issa. He calmly connected with his left foot to Hamden, the lead and the only goal in the first half. But it's Medeama who saw a lot of the ball in terms of possession. They had 56. They won 3 corners, has over won none in the first half. It's been a decent game in terms of the physicalities. No yellow cards, no red cards. Full half-time at the Accra Sports Stadium, final day of the Ghana Premier League. Hearts 1, Medeama 0.
an entertaining first 45 minutes here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Heart of Folk are leading Medeama by a goal to nil in the final game of the 2025-26 Ghana Premier League season. And I've been joined by the assistant coach of Hearts of Folk, Abdul Ghazali. Coach, first 45 minutes, your side is up by a goal to nil. Are you satisfied with the performance?
I cannot say I'm not satisfied because we have taken a lead with a goal from Hamza in the first early of the first half. I think it's been good, but we expect more from our players, even though we are trying to manage them. Looking at our squad number, we lost most of them through injuries. We are even playing with injuries, so we are just trying to manage them to see how best they can give or they can deliver in this particular match. But
now, the results coming from other centers means that if Hearts of Folk should win this game, it would be of more importance than earlier was. What would you do in the second 45 minutes to ensure you get all 3 points? Because your opponent will be coming out gun blazing.
Yes, I think we have to manage how we play. Our game is not bad. It's just that our decision making always is the problem. And I think if we are able to talk to our players and then they listen and then they go in with good final decision making, I think we can get even more goals. Because looking after the first goal, at least we had about 2 chances to lead the game by 3 goals. Unfortunately, we are not able to get that. So I believe when we go in the second half, we'll do more than what we have done to either add goal or to prevent or defend this particular one goal.
Well, thanks very much, Coach Abdul Ghazali, the assistant coach of Heart of Folk. There, they are leading by a goal to nil. Pius Gura would also be joining me shortly from Medeama. He is the assistant coach of Medeama. They are down by a goal to nil, but it's not been, a total bad performance from your side. You considered an early goal, but that did not really disrupt your flow. You created enough chances, but couldn't get a goal in the first 45 minutes. What needs to change in the second? Is it the personnel or the system?
Well, I think as you can see, we have to commend Heart of Folk for the splendid performance during the first department of the game. Yeah, sure. The game has been done from end-to-end attack, and then, like you're saying, we've created a lot anyway. But then yet we going to have some, changes during the recess, and then we see how best we can control, because we need to control the game and then also dictate the pace for them. We have to let them also try and see. We want to build from the back and then also engage all the departments. So we're going to change personnel and then also see how best the second half will also bring to us.
Thanks very much, Coach Pius Gura, assistant coach of Medeama. They are down by a goal to nil at the moment, and they are looking to chase the game, especially in the second 45 minutes. Let's go for a quick breather. When we return, Coach Ebenezer Sefa will join me for the first half analysis. Well, in as much as we're having all the fun here at the Accra Sports Stadium and enjoying some good football, I'm sure folks back in Swedru will not be in a happy mood because currently Swedru All Blacks, after 16 years of battling to be part of the Premier League, are heading back to the Division 1 because Asante Kotoko have taken the lead against them, and Nations surprisingly are also leading Karela by a goal to nil. My name is Mutala Yakubu, is the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and on Unia TV. The focus here is Hearts of Oak, who are playing the champions Medeama, match day 34. Not much in this one for the Takwa Base Club, but for Hearts of Oak, with the results coming from other centers, that could actually solidify their position in the top 4. Coach Ebedeza Sefa, early goal for Hearts of Oak, dictated the pace, scored the goal, even though Medeama have been able to create chances, had the lion share of possession, but they've also not been able to make it count.
Well, Hearts of Oak started very well, created their openings in the defense of Medeama, and I love the build-up to the goal. I mean, about 6-7 touches to the goal, and for me it was wonderful. And Hearts of Oak could have even go ahead to score the second or third goal. I mean, they just messed up the opportunities that came their way. Medeama came back in the 15 minutes throughout to 20 minutes in the game, but Derek Fojo, I mean, hesitated to shoot at goal. I mean, also delayed for Ali Mohammed to just come in.
Now, you were talking about the goal, how the build-up was. Hearts of Oak put passes together beautifully before Hamza put it. It's been a while I saw Hearts of Oak string passes together like that to get a goal.
Yes, that is Didi Dramani for you. And you saw how the few fans that are out there, I mean, screaming, and how the players celebrated that goal. It was a good goal. The build-up was so sweet, and the finishing from Hamza Issa was fantastic.
Of course, now after this goal, it looks like they took their foot off the gas a bit. Medeama stepped up, created chances. Kelvin Obeng getting, especially Derek Fojo. He's had lots of chances, but he's not been able to even, work the goalkeeper. But for one time where Shaib was called into action, he made a perfect save.
But I believe that Ali Mohammed has closed in more on Derek Fojo, and his awareness in the game, decision making from Derek Fojo has been very poor. Kevin Nkrumah has been rushing. I feel that if he calms down and take their time, I mean, God knows Jack Pasu has been sluggish in midfield for Medeama. So for Manuel Mante and Fuzi Taylor covering for him made Medeama came into the game. So you realize that Didi Dramani were pushing Mohammed in midfield, and of course upon Fani to be able to send the ball to the wide areas where they have Mauli Wayo, and of course Hamza sometimes moved to the right side. But it has been very good first 45 minutes, but I think Hearts of Oak was a bit ahead of Medeama in the first 10-15 minutes of the game, for Medeama coming in to make it very equal. So for me, percentage wise, I would say 60-40 in the first half for Hearts of Oak.
60-40, but what we do know is that other centers also has some interesting results coming through, especially in Kumasi, where Swedru All Blacks are battling to survive in the Ghana Premier League. Currently down by a goal to nil. So the people in Swedru are not happy because All Blacks is losing. So Kotoko leading by a goal to nil, and in Brekum Chelsea are also leading Bechem United by 2-1. Then we have Young Apostles also leading Samatex by 2-0. Gold Stars are leading Wonders. We are hearing Samoa Takumi has scored 2 goals in that one. But Nations FC are also leading Karela by a goal to nil. If it stays this way, it means that Swedru All Blacks would be relegated together with Hoho United and 11 Wonders.
Well, Swedru All Blacks, what they need in Babaya Rice, a win. They need to score 2 goals or 3 goals to be able to stay in the Ghana Premier League. Even if they draw and the Nations win, still they'll have to go to relegation, looking at the head-to-head between both sides. But I think that Kotoko has been so difficult, and apart from Hearts of Oak and then Samatex, none of the teams have been able to beat Kotoko at the Babaya Sports Stadium, irrespective of their bad performance at home. So Swedru All Blacks need to do magic to be able to beat Kotoko today.
Let's turn our attention back here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Second half about to start. How do you think Medeama should approach this one? In the first 45 minutes, they were not bad, even though they are down.
I expect Derek Fojo to be substituted, because at the end of the day, he has fumbled a lot, and I think that has distracted Tanko's tactical plan if he's been pulled out. And of course, Kevin Nkrumah should be able to talk to, and I think that Medeama should be able to translate very well. For Hearts of Oak, I expect them to maintain the same shape.
of course, and we will see what happens in the second 45 minutes. Should they stay this way, Hearts of Oak will solidify their position in the top 4, because the likes of Asante Kotoko currently are winning their game. So a lot to play for, especially in the second 45 minutes. And after the 90 minutes, we'll bring you results from all other venues. Back to our team of commentators, Nana Dakwa Jesse and Josiah Okokwe. See you after full time.
Welcome back for second half of this final day in the Ghana Premier League fixture between Hearts of Oak and Medeama Sporting Club. Hamza Isa gave Hearts of Oak an early lead. Medeama tried to get the equalizer before the break. Hearts of Oak held on and went to the break leading Medeama. Back from recess, no changes in personnel for both sides, but you expect the dynamics of the game to change from the onset of the second half.
Yeah, well, Hearts of Oak dominated, some parts of the first half. Medeama were not bad equally, but I think they were just not clinical and decisive in the final third. We've not really seen them in their groove. We've not really seen them play like they have throughout the season. Maybe perhaps it's because they've won the league and the stakes are quite low for them. But for Hearts of Oak, we spoke about the fact that their fans are here. They need to play, appease them, make up for all the games where they fail to entertain them. They've been entertaining, but yeah, with Ali going off, Collison coming on, Medeama also trying to respond to that. With Prince Owusu coming on, should tell you that both teams really want to go for it.
Kingsley Braye and then Prince Owusu will step in for Medeama Sporting Club. Abdul Salam also gets his chance. Ibrahim Tanko with a bold statement with his substitutions from the second half, Josiah.
Yeah, I think he just wasn't pleased with the whole output of the team in the first half. So he's just thrown on 2 attacking-minded players. Braye, who could be the focal point to attack together with Kelvin Obey, and then also you have Prince Owusu also stepping in. It tells you that he's really, really, in for everything. He really wants to win this one.
Rafa Lamponsa kicks off for second half. Here is Fuzi Taylor for Medeama. Tries to get to Kingsley Braye for his first involvement. Ali prefers a safety first approach. Braye hits the ball straight to Shoaib.
Yeah, straight at the goalkeeper. Shoaib just firmly rooted to a spot, not move it, not inch at all. He knows that's coming towards him.
Downside for Medeama. Fatal will rely on Felix Shea for this one. Also to Nkrumah. Here comes Fatal Sulemana. Chance for Medeama and Kelvin Nkrumah. Misses a glorious opportunity to equalize for Medeama. Big chance missed by Nkrumah.
As the closest they've come throughout this game, you know, that ball just ricochets off. Abdul Salam just falls onto the path of Nkrumah. Not a bad first start. Just look at that. It's atrocious finishing. At least he should have tested a goalkeeper in the post.
Here is Hamza Isa, the Hazabuk goal scorer. Now, Mensah. Amankos balling. Duku. Certainly a yellow card for the Azabok midfielder Theophilus Collison.
He's barely been on the pitch for 5 minutes, Theophilus Collison, and you know that one was just so glaring, so blatant. He wasn't escaping, you know, the punishment of the referee, and he's done barely half of the job he was brought on to do, and already he's been cautioned that that perhaps could just slow him down a bit. Collison
is expected to play with some extreme caution from now on after getting into the books. He just came on in the last 4 minutes and already yellow carded. Fouled by Opon Frane, who doesn't see anything wrong with his challenge.
No, he doesn't. No, he just feels he won it cleanly there. Yeah, you know, Nkrumah not having that ball fully under his grip, just allowing Frane to just scrape that one.
Here comes Fatal Sulemana, swings in across, straight to Shoaib. Oliwayo's efforts leading everyone. Here comes Duku. Mubarak Yusuf with a handball against Maoliwayo. Trying to insist he was on his chest, but it's obvious it came off his arms.
That was a bit more bravery from the Hazabok attacker. The ball just finding no one at all. That, you know, Duku returning that ball again into the box, and you could see why you just knew Mubarak was going to clear it.
Amponsa got a knock and he's gone down. Referee has halted play for the Azabok midfielder to be checked.
And the incident again on Rafael Amponsa. I think it was just a trip. Nokios, you know, from the Medeama player. No harm intended. Just caught Amponsa, you know, on the heels, and a bit painful there.
Referee intends to drop the ball for Esibe and Salam. Mensah has been asked to go off and then return on the instructions of the referee. Wayo is short of options now. Throwing hard to walk.
Yeah, you can see that after the introduction of both Brian and then also Abdul Salam, the shape of the Medeama team has changed a bit. You have them playing that 4-4-2 diamond. Prince also playing as that number 10, right behind the two attackers. It's all about how they complement each other. You have one very skillful, the other very energetic off the ball. It's all about service to these two attackers.
Fatal Sulemana. Fuzi Taylor loses possession to Rafael Amponsan, but Mubarak Yusuf will come up with a brilliant tackle. Captain leading by example at the back, Yusuf Mubarak.
Clean as a whistle. Just does the job so neatly.
Mano Mante. Salam is up against Amankwa. Sulemana for Medeama now. Prince Owusu switches to the right for Yao. Osei in the middle for Fuzi. Back to Osei on the right side. A chance for a cross. He swings in a cross, but there's nobody arriving to connect for Medeama as Azabok defend their lines. Here comes Mante. Now Collison will pick up Amponsa. Again, it's Mubarak Yusuf who steps up. Hamza shows great strength and desire to win the ball of the Medeama captain. Now he gets a free kick from the touch of Jacob Mensah.
Yeah, he's not content with just the free kick. He feels that should be a yellow card awarded to the Medeama defender. Or just clutching him to the turf. It's just all about not giving up there. So tenacious. Hamza Issa just to win the ball again, back of the foot of Mubarak after that tussle.
55 minutes at the Accra Sports Stadium. Hearts 1, Medeama 0. Ransford Mensah to take the free kick for Hearts of Oak. Collison swings one in. Deceptive. Nearly took Che by surprise. Abdul Salam. Prince Owusu. Foul for Medeama. Fuzi's efforts drifting out for a goal kick. One of those players expected to become a subject of transfer talk. There's 1-1 in Kumasi between All Blacks and Asante Kotoko. Interesting times.
Yeah, a lifeline for the Magicians.
There's a foul on Yao by Mauli Wayo.
Yeah, that was a clear trip. Mauli Wayo.
Jacob Mensah. Mubarak is trying to pick out Sulemana. Too much on that pass for Sulemana.
They're quite heavy from the experienced centre back. You could see Sulemana there alone.
Afrani to Amankwa. Good ball to find Amponsan right in the Medeama box. Tenzin swings in across, and it's a good save by Felix Che. And Hazabok have their second. Mauli Wayo grabs his 8th of the season for the Phobians on the 57th minute. Hazabok doubled their lead through Mauli Wayo. Felix Che did well to save the initial effort, but he wasn't going to stop that one from Wayo. 57 minutes. Hazabok 2, Medeama 0.
For a second, I was about to say that it's been Medeama throughout the second half. They've been the better of the two sides, and Hazabok just pounds. And that's the quality, entertaining football. You know, the dummy there by Amponsan. Che, no, you should just grab it. You know, it's just so simple. It's that you're hitting it out of play, or you're just grabbing that one. But he doesn't do any of that. You know, just punches that one onto the path of Wayo. Just make no mistake. From that point, just had to just hit that one, and Hazabok really entertaining, and maybe they have to leave the best for this moment for their fans, and that's what they've been expecting. You know, just counter hit your opponent and get the goals, and that's what they're rather doing now.
Che must have used all the reflexes to get something catching on the eye, but it wasn't efficient enough to stop Wayo from reaching where he had punched the ball to. Good goal, Mauli Wayo. Salam. Rai. Osei. Prince Owusu. Great show of desire by Aburaduku. There's a foul on Fuzi. I thought Collison had pushed him down. That's a good call.
He was there. You know, the referee just, you know, very close to the action. He sees, you know, that push there. That was just the right hand of Collison on Fuzi. And, you can't help but enjoy the atmosphere here for Hazabok. You'd say that they've been good this season, by far the best defensive side in the league, but attacking wise, you ask yourself, how good have they been? 10 draws at home this season. That means you've dropped, a whooping 20 points in all those draws.
Considered just 13 goals this season, and scored. This goal scored by Wayo makes it 23 this season. Hamza's own was the 22nd. Isibe with a head our way. Here is Amponsan. He's having a very decent game in this second half. He's trying to put one through for Hamza, but it's Jacob Mensah who arrives and takes care of matters in defense for Medeama.
Yeah, he's played a little bit more advanced in today's setup. Normally you see him playing as a defensive midfielder, but Afrani occupies that space, allowing him to push forward a bit, and he's really given Coach Masudi Djamani a lot of reasons to maybe deploy him there in preseason, see if it works towards next season. He's really been productive in that number 10 role.
Yeah, I'll say onto the right side, he's looking for Fojo. Ali that's it well. He's becoming a fan favorite because of his commitment and his overall performance anytime he's in the rainbow colors, Ali.
Yeah, and you just don't walk into a club as huge as Hazabok and expect to be a cult hero in your first season. You must have done something right, and I think it has to do with his consistency, which has really been up there. He's really been consistent, and as young as he is, you'd say the ceiling is so high for him. You talk about his partnership as well with Kelvin Osei being the heart of defense. You talk about heart keeping clean sheets. I think those two really play a pivotal role as far as that is concerned.
Jacob Mensah in possession for Medeama, pushing to at least get some consolation, but Sulemana uncharacteristically gives the ball away. It was a gift for Hamza, but he just gave it back to Medeama. Mubarak Yusuf to Manuel Mante. Mante tries to pick out Salam. He gets Salam all right. Good play from Salam. Tries to put it back for Fojo. Here comes Braye. Kingsley Braye pulls one back for Medeama. It's 2-1 now for the Phobians.
Just when you thought there was no way back for the move in yellow, they just make their presence felt. They make that quality count in the attacking third, and that's Didi furious. And you talk about Hazard conceding cheap goals. I think that's one for you. And it all started with that ball being missed by Hamza Issa. Another ball into the channel. Amankwano dealing with it perfectly, but then the brilliance of Abdul Salam. That Trivela pass into the box.
Hamza with a chance for Hazard's third, twisting and turning. Hamza shoots, and it's disappointing from Hamza. But you look at the substitutions made by coach Ibrahim Tanko. He pulls out Fojo, brings in Owusu. He pulls out Obin, brings on Braye. Then Jack Pasu equally goes off. Salam takes his place. Interesting switches that has resulted in this goal.
Yeah, you'd say it was an attacking, substitution he did over there. They don't relent. That's Medeama you're talking about. The side that scored the most goals in the league this season, and especially if they are trying to cap off the league season on a high, they would always want to score. They would always want to impress, and that's what they just did. With that triple substitution, that has landed them a goal in this game.
64 minutes, and Hazabok pulls out Hamza Issa. Yao Amankwabe if he takes his place. In Kumasi, something magical is happening with All Blacks. The magicians from Swedro are leading the Porcupine Warriors in Kumasi. It's Asante Kotoko 1, All Blacks 2. The survival battle continues in Kumasi.
My oh my. And I just don't know how the next 20 minutes or so will look like, but it's certainly going to be tears for one of these teams. Certainly it will be heartbreak, and I don't know where it's going to come from. Up north in the Ashanti region, I just don't know if it's in the Bono region, but certainly would have one of these teams just feeling dejected after 90 minutes. But I think for All Blacks, they've really played their hearts out. It's tough seeing a good team going down at that point, but there's still some time in it, perhaps.
Fatal Sulemana to Prince Owusu. Owusu with an audacious effort to get to Yao-Se. Technique gone wrong on that occasion. "65 minutes in the capital. Final day of the Ghana Premier League. Hearts 2, Medeama 1. Kelvin and Chroma. Jacob Mensah. Mubarak Yusuf. Here is Amankwa Antoine Ponsant can't get to Bayfi. Didi Dramani has bemoaned the fact that they've not been able to get new signings because of the transfer ban on them. Sometimes he feels that has resulted in their inconsistent run in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, from another perspective, you could also just feel for them. That was no fault of his. He just wanted the best players available to try and challenge for the league title. But those were issues beyond his control, and there was nothing he could have done. But there's a section of the fan base that also think that they could have won the league title if not for all those draws at home. Too many draws,
Mubarak Yusuf for Medeama. Y'all say Prince Owusu, Jacob Mensah, Mano Mante. Here is Fatal Sulemana, swings in across. Kelvin Nkrumah unable to control it well. It's Ali who returns it to his goalkeeper Shaib.
Yeah, again, he's there to read the situation. Again, he's there to intervene. Just avert what looked to be a dangerous ball for Hearts of Oak. And yeah, I don't know if Hearts of Oak would be fending off lots of interest from other teams. I don't know, but he's really been by far one of their best players this season, Mohamed Ali.
Amankwa, handball against Mante. Was it a deliberate handball? If it was deliberate, then he gets a yellow card. It's 4 goals for Gold Stars against Wonders in Bibiani. And I'm told Atakumi is banging in the goals and chasing Augustine Okra for the top scorer award this season. He scored twice already in this game.
You talk about the relegation dogfight. Yeah, there's also one for the Gokin race between Okra. There's no Salim Adams, so maybe he's out of the conversation.
Richmond Opoku of
Young Apostles.
He's got 13 goals as well.
So the team's doing their thing, the attackers also doing theirs.
Collison's ball, trapped by Wayo, cleared by Amu Mensah. Fuzi can't go past Esibe with that pass, but Salam will take possession. He finds Prince Owusu. It's a through ball looking for Braye. Shoaib comes out, gets to Afrane. Here is Collison for the Phobians. It's 70 minutes in Accra. Hearts 2, Medeama 1. Dreams are 4-1 up against Holy Stars. Nation still hang on to that 1-0 lead in Tamale against Karela. Vision doubled their lead in Tamale against Adriana. Hearts of Oak still leading Medeama 2-1 here. But this is where the interest is. All Blacks down, but they've up equalized and then gone on to lead Kotoko. Chelsea lead 2-1 against United. And Gold Stars winning 4-2 against already relegated 11 Wonders in Bibiani. You're wondering where the motivation will be for Wonders to be playing in the Premier League in the last couple of weeks, knowing very well they are down and out already.
And that's why they deserve so much commendation, for their commitment towards the entire season's course. They got relegated long ago, way back, but they've turned up, showed up, they've played, they've given competition to almost every team. And I think one of their best results this season was that 2-2 draw against Sarmatex. They went down 2-0, they leveled up and they walked away with a point even when they knew they were going down.
Medeama have won 5 times away from home this season with 7 draws on the road and just 4 defeats. 2 defeats, 2 draws, 1 win in their last 5 away games this season, Medeama. And they trailed the Phobians 2-1 here in Accra. Second cooling break of the game. Another opportunity for Ibrahim Tanko to rewrite his notes and send new messages across to his players with some 18 more minutes to go, with the champions trailing Hearts of Oak 2-1 here.
It's really been an entertaining game, end-to-end stuff. That was the first goal, the cut back there onto the part of Hamza Issa, just latching up on that. No chance at all for the goalkeeper. And let's look at the second one again. It was all done by the brilliance of Amponsa, and that error certainly will be on Felix Che. You could see him arguing over there, but then again, had to giving the ball away. What would have been the third goal just rather became, a goal they conceded in this game. Manuel Amankwa not showing so much strength, but then brilliant job done by Abdul Salam, the Trivela. Then they cut back onto the path of Braille, who'll punish you from that distance, and he does. And I feel it's been so entertaining. And for the fans, perhaps they'll be thinking, it's been a long time we saw such an entertaining game. But our side here, so far this season, the last time Hearts of Oak even scored twice at home was that 2-2 draw against Red Draw Blacks, where they went down 2-0 up, down in the first half. They just had to come back and do it the hard way. So, they've not really seen goals at home. It's all been 0-0, 1-0, 0-0. But today, I think, they're signing off in some grand style.
Hearts of Oak introduces Cephas Osabute for Poafrane. Here is Kelvin and Chroma for Medeama. Now Jacob Mensah. Mubarak clears it away. Bayfi heads it down. Mano Mante to Sulemana. Now Kelvin and Chroma tries to find Braille. Braille with a poor effort from Kingsley Braille. He's better than this, Braille, but he get himself injured in the process.
Yeah, I think that was from Collison. Yeah, Collison pointing to his soles, and just collided with him a bit. Collison just showing a bit of that right foot right in front of him, and that was Braille. He has that killer instinct, Braille, when he wants to. Has a different profile from your, unconventional number 9. A bit of a trickster, loves to dribble, loves to, use the space, play on the shoulders of defenders. But I think one thing that has been lacking has been consistency. This season, he's really enjoyed the FA Cup campaign. He was scoring a couple of hat tricks in there, but not the same numbers in the league season. But that was the goal he scored again, and I think Abdul Salam, the other number 9, deserves credit. But the sense of awareness to just peel back a bit, create space, and just slot that one past the goalkeeper.
Some 15 more minutes to wrap it up here at the Accra Sports Stadium on the final day of the Ghana Premier League. It's Medeama trailing Hearts of Oak by 2-1 here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Mensah, lovely dummy. Swings in across. And Duku. Big chance. He had a man crab Bayfi behind him. No communication.
The argument between the two players will continue. And it still continues, because Amakwabe, if he was thinking, I was here, but just allow me to hit that. And Duku says, you should have told me, just call me out. But you could also clearly see Amakwabe, if you're trying to call out Duku, that he was right behind him, and maybe he would have hit that one on the volley. Would have been a better way of trying to convert that chance than Duku just leaping to hit that one.
Fuzi Taylor makes way for Emmanuel Owusu. More attacking options being thrown in by coach Ibrahim Tanko. These fans have endured a lot of drawn games, and it would just be fair for them to wrap the season up with a home win, having witnessed their team play as many as 15 drawn games in the season.
That's quite an awful lot. And that was just the point where Hearts of Oak just wasn't able to compete for the league title. You look at the other two teams, at the top of the table, and these teams are winning home games consistently. Gold Stars are yet to lose any game at home this season.
Chance for Hearts to get a third, and it's an own goal. Medeama down by 3-1. Jacob Abu-Mensah, unfortunate own goal from the Medeama centre back. How the box pressure pays off 3-1 now.
Yeah, that's what you get for piling pressure. That's what you get for taking that extra risk. That's what you get, for being expansive, and that's what they've done throughout the game. And it was Zamankwa Befi trying to, find Duke with the goalkeeper's area. Abu-Mensah, that was just so unfortunate. He's just been solid at the back today. Abu-Mensah, rock solid in defense, but at that point he just couldn't help himself. In the process of trying to avert that danger, he rather slots that one back into his net, and Felix Che's reaction also telling you everything you need to know. Just not good for the league winners.
The league winners are down by 3-1 here against Hearts of Oak at the Accra Sports Stadium on the final day of the campaign. Bayfi swings to one. Here is Duku, and he's missed by inches. Very close. Goal kick.
They're joining tails now. This is what the fans want. They wish this game would never end for themselves. Every single touch up front turns into a chance created, and Duku this time, I think Che had his fingertips to that one.
Minutes in Accra. The Phobians enjoying the final day of the Premier League. Abu-Mensah, Salam, Owusu. Unproductive play from Prince Owusu. Disappointing from Collison.
I think he's rusty at this point, Collison. Last season he was a regular under Abuka Ouattara.
Fatal Sulemana will take a bow for Desmond Bafo to take his place. He's been brilliant for Medeama this season. His leadership at the back has been crucial for them in this title running. Mubarak Yusuf to Yalse. Emmanuel Owusu. Poor pass. Amponsan finds Befi. Good play from Befi to skip past Owusu, but the final ball to Amuraduku is disappointing.
Another situation that makes you think Hearts of Oak could have been up by more goals than they are now. They've really had some good moments in this game. They've really oiled this team. You know, whenever they move forward, you could see there was so much danger. You could sniff danger. It was something that they've not played with throughout the season. Teams come here and they feel so comfortable defending against them.
Here is Bafo. Braye, good ball to Bafo again. He sends in a cross. Also arrives. Calvin Nkrumah on the volley, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
It was just well worked. Bafo on the left side, making his presence felt. Just continuing from where Suleiman Fatal left off. Yeah, another cutback range, so Wusu went. And Nkrumah trying to score with a spectacular volley there.
Referee Owusu whistles. Salam. Flag is up. Salam is offside. Kotoko's captain Samba O'Neill has missed the penalty in that game against All Blacks. So All Blacks still lead by 2-0 in 2-1 in Kumasi against Kotoko. So the Black Magicians are indeed performing some magic in Kumasi.
Yeah, I don't know where the motivation is coming from, but at this point it's Nations FC going down. If it all stays the same, Nations FC has been dramatic.
Cross comes in, chance for Hazard spot, and Mauli Wayo with a pinpoint header. Great delivery from Hazard, Sefas Osabute, and Wayo with a perfect connection to hand Hazard their fourth goal of the afternoon. The champions are being pummeled.
If you want, it was just bad. It's becoming humiliating for the league winners at this point, and I don't recall the last time they conceded 4 in a game, Medeama. But it's a well-oiled team in attack now, Hartsburg, and just look at that, 2 touches and they're punishing you. Just 2-3 touches, and you know they're creating something meaningful, and it was just a connection. Safe as a Sabute pinpoint cross into the box, and well, perfectly met by Wayo, instinctive from the attacker. Just look at that. It's just so enjoyable watching them play. It's so interesting, so impressive from Hartsburg today, and I think that's what the fans want to see. If they've played this way in every home game, you know, perhaps they might be making a genuine case for themselves. And you know, if you find any Hartsburg fan telling you they'll allow the league title to slip, you might want to agree with them.
It could be more from here on. Salam. Minutes. Hearts Obok 4, Medeama 1. Amu Mensah's own goal and goals from Mauli Wayo and Hamza Isa. So 9 goals for Mauli Wayo this season. Very impressive, but he's been very wasteful as well. Here is Salam. Wayo, Duku. This time, Calvin Nkrumah will take possession from Wayo and go solo. Nkrumah drives one and it goes outside. It's a goal kick.
good try from a distance, but say that's not it. And his locker, he's not your typical player who shoots from 35, 30 yards out. Kelvin Nkrumah, he loves close control and all that, but it's Yamakwabe, if he was injected so much pace into this Hearts-of-Oak attack, and it's something they've really lacked in. I just don't know if this last game would give Didi Dramani a lot to ponder over.
Memphis yellow card confirmed. Last 3 minutes. Duku. Osabute. Amu Mensah. He's already scored an own goal this afternoon. Jacob Mensah. Ransford Mensah. Maoli Wayo. He's got a brace for himself, but it's a poor pass from Wayo.
They're combining so well in attack. You have the left full back bumping forward, Emmanuel Amankosu, adding up to the numbers up front already, and really making life a living hell for Medeama. And it's something Medeama do not want at all in any game. They love to attack, so whenever they come up against teams, who just put so much pressure on the defense that they find themselves wanted.
You know what? In Bibiani, it's Atakumi who has scored all the 4 goals for Gold Stars against 11 Wonders. That takes him to 17 goals, 2 better than Okra.
I think it's game over there.
It's 6-3 between Wonders and Gold Stars. And he's hit 5 goals. That takes him to 18. Wow.
I'll need to do my checks. He has scored 5 in a single game.
Kingsley Braye, Kelvin Nkrumah, Prince Owusu, Yao Osei, now Mubarak Yusuf. He's going to lift the Premier League trophy on Wednesday in that special coronation game against Holy Stars. But I guess he would have loved to end the season on a high away from home.
Right. So I think there I have it. Ajini Mensah of Dreams FC, the last player to score 5 in a single league game 2 years ago. Wow.
Wayo will make way for Suraj Zaid, one of the youngsters from the junior ranks, getting a taste of Premier League football on the final day of the campaign.
Yeah, that's what you want as a coach. At least you just allow everyone to have a feel of the season. Yeah, it's been a long season. It's been a challenging one for them. Yeah, lessons learned. But then also you have some youth players you'd want to try throughout pre-season, and that's how you usher them into it. At least just to play against the champions, boost their confidence as well.
Nkrumah weaving his way through the rainbow colors. He goes down with the slightest touch and he gets the free kick.
Yeah, he's so pacey. He's so swift. Just give him half a yard. Takes a mile, and at that point Hearts-of-Oak not allowing that to happen.
It's interesting to see Didi Dramani still demanding a lot from his charges, even with a 3-goal advantage here against Medeama. Nkrumah's delivery, good interception from SCB because Braye was just watching on.
He would want more, not because he would have any bearing on this game, but because he knows Medeama will come here again next season. So it's better he strike in the fear now, until their next return. They would always know that something could hit them.
Hazard might have just played their best game of the season on the final day. Also delivery, and Jacob Mensah, he makes amends for that own goal he scored, but too little too late to save Medeama from defeat this afternoon. Jacob Mensah gets one from Medeama, score stays 4-2 in favor of Hearts of Oak.
Yeah, that's how you rewrite the wrong. Jacob Mensah has been flawless today in defense at times, but yeah, it was a thumping header. He had Kelvin Osesibe, who showed no interest. You know, you just jump along with him, you just move up, try to distract him, but Osesibe doesn't do that. Mensah just had a clean header.
Mensah's second goal of the season. Prince Owusu. Yao says delivery finds Nkrumah just on the edge of the box. Mano Mante is a poor effort. He gets a second chance, but unable to make it count. Here again is Mante, but Osabute fights for it. Mante shows strength. Desmond Bafu. Abdul Salam. Emmanuel Owusu. Final whistle. Game over. Final day joy for the Capital Bay side, Accra Hearts of Oak. They've ended the Premier League season on a high after some disappointing run in the Premier League, inconsistent performances both home and away, a situation that saw them draw as many as 15 times in the league. They're beating the champions Medeama on the final day of the Ghana Premier League by 4-2. This is probably the best game for the Phobians this season, Josiah.
Yeah, by far the best game of the season for Hearts of Oak. The first time this season, you know, they've scored 4 times in a game, so lots of positives. Yeah, the season is gone, the title is gone, but you know, there's quite a lot to learn from this one for Hearts of Oak, and there's a lot of things, lessons they'll be taking into next season. You know, it's been an amazing display up front for them, despite conceding twice. They scored 4 times, you know, which is quite good for them in this game.
Medeama, although considered 4, so a lot of the ball, 55% possession. They had 4 corners, and that resulted in one of the goals scored by Amu Mensah. 23 fouls on the side of the Phobians, and Medeama, champions, but have lost on the final day of the Premier League. The 2025-26 Ghana Premier League is over, and there's a new champion. Medeama have dethroned the BNA Gold Stars to become champions this season, and it's full time at the Accra Sports Stadium. Hearts of Oak 4, Medeama Sporting Club 2.
the season has ended in a spectacular fashion for Hartlepool because they've capped off a 4-2 victory over champions Medeama here at the Accra Sports Stadium. And I've been joined by the head coach of Accra Hartlepool. Coach, initially you talked about how important it would be to finish the season off the high. And I mean, this is just it. 4-2 victory, it doesn't get any better.
I think that keeping consistency and then keeping your right purpose in the approaches that you put in place is so key. Irrespective of how it's going, you need to be more front looking and then keep your purpose upright.
Okay, now, I mean, the goals that you scored today, the fans were asking, why didn't we see this consistently throughout the season? 4 goals, one of your highest tally this season.
Unfortunately, I don't score goals. It's the players. I keep acknowledging, the effort, the energy, the intensity and aggression that we bring in our play, which is our identity, and also the sense of commitment that these boys have produced. So sometimes I get so much agitated and I tend now to say that, well, that is the best they can do. So we need to be more moderate in our expectations sometimes.
With the kind of person I know you to be, I know that work for next season starts right after this. What are some of the things that need to change about the team?
I think that there's a lot about the clear internal culture. There's clear in the direction that we have been able to adapt in terms of tactical approaches, which is very key, and everyone has had the chance to do that. And you can see the employment of Cephas and the other young one. We had these young ones, but because we were not in the right moment, it is not easy to play them because you needed to protect these young ones. We are very positive in what we are doing, and we really know exactly what we have to do. But you don't have to change your purpose and direction.
Coach, your final words to the fans of Accra Hartlepool.
I think that they have been very, very important to us. What we cherish to have is our human part of it. The human part is so important. I know that, outcomes, trophies will give you the chance to stay longer, but the human part is so key that we try to believe in what we are doing. We try to be very open-minded. We try to be very, very objective in our assumptions and our expectations. As I said, we're the only club who didn't have the opportunity to beef up a squad. Even the clubs that were going on relegation, they still had the opportunity to beef up. So who will I praise rather than my players? For all this while, we still kept the same number of players working here and there, and always 2% rate of injuries in the game, but still they stayed up. So for me, I down my heart for my players.
Coach, it's been a good one, 34 weeks on the road. I mean, hopefully we'll meet next season.
Hopefully.
Masood Didi Dramani, head coach of Hartlepool, finishing the season strongly with a 4-2 victory here. It's been a big one for Hartlepool. They've struggled to get the result in recent time, but this one has been a big result for him. But I've been joined by the man who masterminded Medeama's title win as well, Ibrahim Tanko. Coach, match day 34 didn't serve you enough smiles. You lost by 4 goals to 2, but how would you describe the performance of your team today?
No, I think it was 50-50. I mean, after the first goal, we came back very strongly and we had almost all the chances. And then second half, the early goal also keep us behind, but still we keep on fighting to the last. I think 4-2, I mean, they win, but I congratulate them, of course.
Of course. Now, I know work starts immediately because you have Africa to prepare for. What should change about the team?
No, a lot. I think after the season, we have to sit down and then analyze the whole season and then look at the position that we think we need to help us in Africa and in the league as well. So definitely, we are going to do the work.
Coach, congratulations to you once again. 34 weeks. It's been a good one, and I hope that I see you next season. Coach Ibrahim Tanko, the head coach of Medeama, he ensured that they win the title, and it's a big one for them. Most valuable player in today's game, Raphael Amposa. Raphael, much of 4 goals, but we need 4-2, and the fans can say, are there not performance we want consistently throughout the season?
Maybe to my car, say, near putty effort, but ne woman nya no na ye mpeni say be board draw because o he league na akitimi nya be 3 matches continuously aka ye champions but
all right yeah that's it Rafael Amposa is the most valuable player in today's game, but there's something interesting that has happened in the Ghana Premier League. Swedro All Blacks, who were in danger of being relegated, went to Kumasi and actually got an important victory over Sante Kotoko. They won 2-1. Despite the fact that Nations FC also won against Karela, Nations FC have been relegated. Dr. Kwame Che and his team will be playing in Division 1. For Swedro All Blacks, 16 years, they are protecting their status, and that is how things ended. And for us here, it's been 34 weeks of being on the road, and I'll say thank you to every single person who contributed their quota to making sure that APL brings you the Ghana Premier League, especially the crew who have been on the road for 34 weeks. I mean, the general manager of APL, Pefa Infojo as well. And thanks to our commentators, I mean, we started with the likes of Graham, Kelvin Ousu Ansah, Josiah Okokwe, Nana Dakwa JC. I mean, to our directors, Kujo, James, everyone has contributed their quota. But most importantly, to the Ghana Football Association, who are the organizers for being with us throughout the 34 weeks. And to you at home, who never left us 34 weeks. You are always behind your TV set to watch the game. And also the MCR, Edwin, and the guys there who ensure that the games are always live on TV. See you next season for the 2026-27 Ghana Premier League. My name is Mutale Yakubu. APL TV3 will continue to bring you good things.